Come on now, hustle. We got a man coming over.
Season 1, Episode 7, Down, Kiss and Tell. Big plot. Rory got her first kiss ever with Dean, and Dean comes over for a movie night at the Gilmore household. So this episode, Rory basically gets her first kiss by Dean at the supermarket, and it kind of surprises her. And being that she hasn't told Lorelai about Dean at all, she can't tell Lorelai about the kiss. She runs and tells Lane, and she's like going in detail about the kiss and everything, and Lane's mom overhears. And so Lane's mom is the one that actually tells Lorelai about the kiss. Ooh. So a common theme that I'm noticing as I'm rewatching this and kind of like talking about it afterwards is in the last few episodes, Rory has not been telling Lorelai stuff. And that's kind of a shift on how their relationship used to be before the show actually started, because they are like supposed to be the best of friends. They tell each other everything. But yeah, the last few episodes, it's always Rory not telling Lorelai something. That kind of makes sense as Rory is becoming is more of a teenager now and like hiding stuff. So that's becoming like a common theme. Rory is just not saying stuff. And so anyway, Lorelai finds out about the kiss from Lane's mom, and she like just tells Rory, she's like, hey, I'm kind of hurt you didn't tell me about the kiss, and I had to find out by Lane's mom. So then she goes and she meets Dean when they're getting snacks for their movie night. And she's like, I just want to meet him. I want to see who this guy is, because she knows nothing about him. So they go in, she meets him, and then while Rory is picking up the movie for the movie night, she runs into Dean by herself, and so she invites him over for their movie night, which I say is so legit. Like, I feel like the Gilmore household does movie night right. Like, how I started this movie with all the snacks that they have for movie night is amazing. Like, I feel like if you're having an at-home movie night, you gotta snack it up. And it's just kind of fitting for this month too, being that it's snacking through September. But yeah, so I was like, that's how you do a movie night. You have snacks galore, and you just kind of like pick out and, you know, enjoy. But I kind of see that, and then it's just Dean spending time with the both of them, because honestly, this is the most time that Rory has spent with him, and the most time Lorelai has since she's like just meeting him. So he's like watching the movie, and then at one point Lorelai leaves them alone, and she's like in the kitchen flipping on a magazine because she doesn't want to interrupt like their date, but it's not a date, it's more like a hang. And so then Rory freaks out because she's like, Dean is being perfect, he's being so nice. And so then she runs and gets her mom, and then her mom goes in, and that's when I really like Lorelai. Like Rory's gone, so it's just Lorelai and Dean in their living room. She pauses the movie, and she's like, okay, you're gonna sit and listen. And then she basically gives him all these rules, and she's like, you are not gonna hurt my daughter. If you hurt my daughter is beloved in this town. There will be no place you can hide. No one, like, she goes to ham on Dean. And then Dean tries to talk, like, while she's like going through her stuff. She's like, no, you're gonna listen. So that was fire. Lorelai killed that scene. She was not playing around with Rory, her daughter. This episode also made me realize why I don't like Dean. So after Lorelai does her whole spiel, and she's like, no, we gotta figure this out early on, because this is not what's gonna happen. Then Dean goes and talks, and he's basically like, well, you need to get on board, because I'm not going anywhere. And first off, this is when it rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, Dean is the worst. One of the reasons I don't like Dean is because I feel like he's too cocky. And that rubs me the wrong way, I guess you can say. But like, even when he's talking to Lorelai and he's like, I'm not going anywhere, like, I need you to get on board, and even how he just responds to it is, to me, I think is cocky and just kind of disrespectful in my opinion. But I also don't see it being as something that a high school student would say to an adult. Like, I don't really think that part is realistic at all, because I was like, Dean is like way too confident, too cocky for a high school student, and I don't think that's a legit thing. But yeah, so this is kind of like my turning point where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm realizing why I don't like Dean. He's just kind of too much. And then I kind of feel like also he's just kind of annoying a little bit too. Like, even during the movie night, he's like, so when can a newcomer like introduce a movie? He's been invited to one movie night, and he's already trying to bring up like new movies to do and just expecting that he's going to be invited back for more. But yeah, so this is kind of like why I'm starting to realize again why Dean was not my favorite in this series. But yeah, so that was pretty much the big thing about this episode. And then I did like how they ended it. How they ended it was Rory finally gives Lorelai all the details on her first kiss. And so it kind of like mends their relationship, because it was kind of like Lorelai was hurt. Because a lot of what's happening in the last few episodes too is Lorelai starting to feel left out, because Rory's not telling her everything, and then she finds out about it later. And it's just kind of like I think Lorelai is realizing like there's some gaps in their relationship, but I don't think Rory is, because she's just being a teenager and she's not like thinking about how her actions affect other people. But okay, I'll see you in the next episode.
This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.